Sal Capaccio, our buddy with WGR in Buffalo, and the Buffalo Bills beat and sideline reporter as well at Sal Sports on Twitter. And Sal, as we look to Monday night, Bills Patriots. The Patriots don't have Edelman. They don't have Dion Lewis. Are they more vulnerable than they've ever been?
Yeah, I think they're more vulnerable than they have been in the last few years for sure. I mean, those guys they're a big part of what they do offensively. And if you go back to week 2, they both really torched the Bills. I mean, Edelman was the leading receiver. He had like 11 catches. They targeted him 19 times, which is amazing. And Dion Lewis had over 100 yards from scrimmage. He's a guy that really Brady relies on out of the backfield a lot. They don't have any other backs they really throw the ball to. So those are very big losses for them, especially in this kind of matchup where Bills, even though the pass rush hasn't been there, they have the ability to generate that pass rush.
So is this the time? Does Rex finally get to put the Bill Belichick head on the wall? Like, does he finally take him down?
Well, people forget he beat them in the playoffs in 2010 at their place. And that was 5 weeks after they lost 45-3. They lose 45-3 in November or early December, and then he goes to New England in the playoffs and they win that game. But other than that, he's had no success. 0-6 there in the regular season, 4-10 overall, which is probably 40% better than most coaches against Belichick. But he still is looking for that elusive, need to beat him in a big spot. Since then he hasn't been able to do it, and I don't know. It's going to be a tough task, guys. I mean, sitting here, I'm not going to pick the Bills to win, but I think they have a better opportunity to win this game than they have in recent memory.
Sal Capaccio of WGR, Bills beat and sideline reporter with Armin and Levac on 104.5 The Team, Monday night, Bills at Patriots. And Sal, yesterday, Rex really went off on the Boston media. Can you give us the premise of that?
Yeah, pretty much, yesterday was media day, and he spoke with the Buffalo media first, and then he speaks on a conference call with the New England media, just normal protocol during the week. And with the Buffalo media, there's always something new with Rex, whether he's wearing a Clemson helmet or, he's dropping references about Orchard Park High School or West Seneca High School and things like that. It's kind of funny. But, one of the questions he was asked by the Buffalo media was about being obsessed with the Patriots. And, his answer, and I understand this, and I agree. He said, I'm not obsessed with them in particular. I want what they have. So because they're the team on top, I'm going to talk about them because that's what we're shooting for. And if it was somebody else, I'd be talking about them more. So, the Boston media kind of followed up on that, and they asked him about it, and he said to them, I'm not the one obsessed with them. You guys are. You talk about them every day. And which is true because it's their job, it's what they have to do. And that banter went on for a little while, and he said, you guys always bring up the fact that I'm 4-8 against them or whatever, and I think he's 4-10 overall, but, he says, you always bring that up, so I don't know even, why are you even bother talking to me when you should be talking to someone who understands how to beat him, obviously, because obviously I don't. And then they asked him, well, why are you mad? Why are you mad at us right now? And he said, because you guys spin everything, He's talking about me being obsessed. He says, that's not what it's all about. It's about me trying to win. I just want to win. And he said, I don't need to talk to you. He said, don't talk to me. It's what he said. Don't talk to me. He said those 4 words.
But Sal, is Rex obsessed with New England?
I think he's obsessed with the idea of the Patriots and what they are and wanting to be who they are. And I agree that we can plug in any name of Super Bowl champion X, team that's dominated X, and that's who he'd be obsessed with. So, yes, I mean, he's obsessed with New England, but if New England wasn't who they are, of course he wouldn't be. He's obsessed with wanting to be who they are. It just happens to be that team that's number one. If it was the Dolphins who had dominated this division, he'd be obsessed with the Dolphins. So I guess it's, to me, it's kind of a nuanced point. It's how you parse it. I don't think he has a personal vendetta against the New England Patriots. He just hates the fact that this particular team has won, so he wants to beat them. And when the schedule comes out, he says, I circle their game because that's the standard that we need to be at.
Sal Capaccio of WGR, Bill's sideline reporter with Armin and Levac. And Sal, I used the word yesterday, and this might be too strong, but I want to know from you what the correct word should be. So we played the clip of Rex Ryan saying, I want to be them. I want to be where they are. And Sal, he's been saying that for 6 years now as a head coach. Is there a point where I said yesterday, and I got reaction from listeners, and it was on both sides, that it comes off as a little pathetic? Is that too harsh of a word?
I don't know. I guess to some people it would come off that way.
How does it come off to
He's
you?
a very driven man to be, as best as he can be. He wants to win a Super Bowl for himself, for his dad. He's talked a lot about it's very important to him to win a Super Bowl before his dad passes away, and he's not doing well, Buddy Ryan. So I think, there's a lot of things involved here about why he is the way he is as far as driven and wanting to be the top team and number one team, and that's who they are, the Patriots right now. So I guess to some people that would sound pathetic, but to me, I don't know. It's kind of like if my goal in life was to be where Bob Costas is, and I always talked about, what it would take to get there, and that's the goal, and that's the standard, and that's what I want to be. Some people would call that pathetic. I would call that being driven and focused and committed, and I think that's what he sees it as.
Sal, I'm curious about the difference in a Patriots week leading up to the Patriots. Like, is it more intense leading up to the Patriots, or like was it more intense leading up to the Jets? What's it like at Bills camp?
Very interesting. Good question, because I think it's kind of changed in a couple of different ways. Let me go back to week 2, first of all, guys, because remember when the Bills played week 2 against New England, coming off that Indy coming off the Indy win and coming off back home, staying home, when the Patriots are coming here, their first road game, and we didn't even know Brady should be playing. There was a debate about that. So there was all the snickering and the comments and the air pumps being sold at the store. And then you had Aaron Williams say, I really don't like the Patriots. He kind of said that flat out. And Marcel Darius said, nobody likes the Patriots. It became really personal. And it got to a point of this game was about the Bills beating Bill Belichick and Tom Brady in New England. It wasn't about a division game or anything. It was about that team and personal. And they let their emotions get way too much of them. And they had 14 penalties for 140 yards, and it crushed them. And they went home with their tail between their legs, so to speak, and they were embarrassed. And then as the season's gone on, it's kind of morphed into, okay, we know that we're not going to win this division, but we have a playoff goal at stake that we need to get to. And last week, going into the Jets game, I felt a little bit of that personal accountability that it's the Jets, but I felt it more from the players, not Rex. He was deflecting it all week. The players kind of talked about how important it was to win for Rex Ryan, and, we want to win this game for him. And when they did, they gave him the game ball, and Eric Wood said, welcome to the Big Apple. Now let's fast forward to this week. It's really interesting because I don't get any of that personal stuff this week. I even said something to Richie Incognito yesterday. I said, it was so personal in week 2. Now it seems like you guys are treating it like this is just a big game. It doesn't matter who's lined up. We got to win. And yeah, it's the Patriots. And yeah, we know the history, but we're not making it personal. We're making it about winning a football game and a division game, and we need to get to the playoffs. I think that's going to serve them a lot better on Monday night than it did in week 2.
Sal Capaccio of WGR at Sal Sports on Twitter. Monday night, Bills at Patriots. Sal, where are we at with Tyrod Taylor? What are the expectations of this guy coming into Monday night's game?
Well, I don't think the expectations are for him to win the game on his own. He's not going to get into a shootout with Tom Brady and win it. And if anybody thinks that that's going to happen, they're naive. But I think he's shown the ability to have big games, make big plays. He goes down the field. He's not afraid to take shots. He challenges Darrelle Revis on the first play of the game with Sammy Watkins. Should have been a touchdown if it was a bit better of a throw by him. We've seen him use his legs to make big plays. And I think expectations are for him to continue to do what he's doing, which is not lose football games. One of the things that have been most impressive about Tyrod, guys, is when he's bad, he's still not turning the ball over, and he's not giving the ball to the other team. So the Bills can live with his down times because they're still not nearly as risky and bumbling as, E.J. Manuel, for example, when he threw the ball to the Jacksonville Jaguars and gave them the 21 points, essentially. And his upside and what he can do when he's on is really good, and he's making plays. So I don't know. I think some fans are still questioning if he's a franchise quarterback. But I think the Bills think he can be, and they think he's showing that. And I think down the road, before next season, they're going to want to give him a new contract because they don't want him to go into his contract year, not with uncertainty surrounding his future here.
Sal, Gilmore comes out and says, we have a plan to take Gronk out of this game. Is that man crazy?
No. I was there for that, and I think it was really surprising last night. I was reading Twitter, and I got a little bit of this on Twitter where I was seeing some people take that quote and really kind of take it out of context. So let me just put it in context for you. I mean, these guys are asked every single time they play the Patriots, how do you stop Rob Gronkowski? How do you stop Rob Gronkowski? What's the plan? Nobody can stop Rob Gronkowski. What's it like? But every time they're asked 10 different ways about Rob Gronkowski. So his response as if he was talking about the run game or the pass game instead of saying, yeah, we got a plan to take out the run game. Yeah, we got a plan to take out Rob Gronkowski. That's all he said. Like, yeah, we have a plan. Now, doesn't mean the plan's going to work. I don't know what the plan is, but all he's telling you is, of course, we're going to go into the game with a game plan to take the guy out because he's their number one guy. Just like if the Bills were playing, I don't know, maybe if you asked Bill Belichick, he wouldn't say this, or you would ask one of their players, maybe Malcolm Butler would say, yeah, we got a plan to take Sammy Watkins out of the game. What else is he supposed to say? That
Right.
They have the game plan for the game.
Sal Capaccio of WGR with Armin in the Vac. Monday night, Bills at Patriots. Sal, enjoy the weekend. And Monday night, man, it'll be a fun one. Thanks for your time today.
All right, thanks, man. It's going to be very fun. Love being a part of this, and maybe the Bills can get this win, and then from here on out, we're going to have some really exciting weeks to talk about.